Hey everyone's failed chat back in their video, and today is the day of the new event launching. So we're going to jump into the event, walk through it, and do it here live, just as a first-time experience because it looks like it's a little bit more complicated than the other events. So let's jump into it. So as you can see, it's right behind my head here, the Lord of the Oceans event. And we have a couple of things. We have a 7-day event here, and it looks like we have a daily reset of the daily challenge. And then we have a special challenge here. And it looks like in order to access this, you need to reach a score of 10 here. So we'll have to go ahead and challenge this real quick. But there's also a lucky tavern or a shop here with a skin, with the portrait, with some avatars, and a bunch of limited items. So this one's a little different because previously you could have the choice of picking a gear charm over the XP and jelly. Everything else is limited. So based on this, I highly recommend that you go for these limited items, all of them pretty much, except for maybe the elemental chest. I would go for the gear charms, the summoning crystals, and the 6-star gear. Maybe if you don't need the pumpkins, just off the initial impressions. And then we have the daily challenges here. It looks like you can select debuffs that you actually want to put on your characters, like enemy speed increasing or minus hero attack. And then it will increase your score that you've actually gone on or gotten on this daily challenge. Now, if you go ahead and hit the little magnifying glass there, you'll see what the actual daily challenge is. The enemies here, it looks like just a bunch of normal characters in the game, and then Borden. It looks like also bosses are immune to poison, so you can't necessarily poison them. Important to note. So that is going to be the daily challenge. If you go ahead and click this little magnifying glass up here, you'll see the event intro, and it gives you the big explanation. But basically, as I mentioned, you're going to be completing the daily challenges with the special debuffs that you could select on your own units, and then you're going to go ahead and get resources to spend in the Lucky Tavern, and then you're going to go ahead and challenge this special challenge, which you need to reach a score of 10 in the daily challenge in order for you to access it. Now, in order for us to access these later debuffs that you can put on yourself, you have to get the first ones and actually get a higher score. So we're going to go ahead and select both of them here and just enter the battle. It's a fire unit, so what I'm going to go ahead and do is just drop in my standard nuke team. I don't know how difficult the event is, but I have a quite good or well-geared squad here. So we're just going to drop that in and see where we end up going with this. So let's go ahead and pick up wind strikes here and then just drop in the defense down and rage spells. Perfect. So let's go ahead and run that and see where we end up going with this. Quite excited. It looks pretty fun to challenge all the daily challenges and then get some extra stages going. But we're going to go ahead and just check this out here. It looks like a multi-wave battle. So keep that in mind if you are going to go ahead and go through this. It looks like sort of like a campaign stage. Now, it's also important to note that these characters look very, very squishy for the average player. We have about 4k HP on them. Definitely way overgeared for myself, but probably a little bit more new player friendly. I can go ahead and try this on my new account and see, but I think that we should be able to go ahead and do it even if you only have a few 6 stars and such. So we're going to go ahead and just use all of our skills here. I think we should just be able to one-shot this wave, and then maybe we can access some of the later tiered debuffs here and then go through with that. And there we go. It looks like we just one-shot boarded, and that's going to be the first basically score that I'm actually scoring on this. And we're going to go ahead and go back and see if we've unlocked some of those later tiered debuffs that you could put on yourself. Looks like we have the new best score. Now we can access some of these. We can now put all of these on, and we could do no deaths allowed, 30% minus hero max HP, 30% increased enemy attack, and all that good stuff. What I'm going to go ahead and do is just run this and come back when we can activate all of them and see what that's like. So I figured I'd showcase the ending of this next battle, but again, it was quite easy. It was obviously the same character stats. All that changed is the debuffs that you actually get applied. So it's not like they increase based on what tier you're going for. It really just does exactly what the debuffs are doing. That time, because we landed the defense down, we just one-shot them. So quite easy for myself, but I do think that it could be a little bit more difficult to get all the debuffs on yourself and win if you're a newer player. So that unlocks the rest of them, I believe. And now we can just see what the total amount of debuffs that you get. So we have minus 50% HP, 50% increased enemy attack. We have minus 15% attack for ourselves, 15 enemy speed, and we also have to include 2 elite heroes, and we cannot die at all. So we're going to go ahead and run this. We need to run 2 elites here, which actually could be kind of difficult because I don't know if I have too many elites geared out here. Let's see. I have Mary geared out, and I guess I could just run Charles real quick. He's quite tanky already. And then we could just run in some of our other squad. I'm going to run just the standard Nathalia here and Ciara and still see if I can run this and beat this. Charles, I don't think has any gear on him right now, so this could get a little interesting. Obviously, I could put Charles' gear on, but I don't think I'll need it, to be honest. So we're still faster with our Nathalia, and she is running in a guard set here, and I should just be able to basic these down. Yep, so we could save some time there, but it looks like it's still not too bad. Again, the major debuffs is that you have to run a specific team comp, and you have to make sure you're not basically getting hit, because 50% increased enemy attack and minus 50% HP, as you can see here. Our CR has 5k HP. Let me just move myself to the side here so you can check it out, but 5k HP on our Ciara. That's really, really low. So just keep that in mind. If you're going to get hit, you're most likely going to die. So you kind of have to either bring in some tanks and really just tank it out, or just one-shot them like we're doing here. So that's pretty much the entirety of this event, at least getting the max score on the daily challenge. I'm not quite sure if the daily challenge kind of changes every day. I'm going to go ahead and return myself over to the other side here so you all could see the total score. So there we have it, the total score. We're going to go ahead and collect our rewards here, and that is just going to be the currency for the event, and then the vault keys. So we get 3 vault keys, and we now can enter the special challenge, and here we have it. Here is the massive boss fight with all these different debuffs and such. So we can include all of them here. Let's just go ahead and select all of them real quick, and it looks like all the debuffs here are shown. So we got quite a few. We have quite a few here. Add 3 waves, grant attacks up, heroes suffer cannon fire dealing at 1,000 true damage at the beginning of each round. I mean, this looks like some insane debuffs. We can get up to 3,000 true damage, and you can unlock them with vault keys, it looks like. So the whole goal is to get vault keys from your daily unlocks, I think, and then, oh, it looks like actually if you use it, you're going to gain vault keys. So that's interesting. Let's see here. Yeah, you have to accomplish 24 effects. I'm not quite sure if this is using vault keys in order to unlock the later stages, or if you unlock them by doing the earlier ones. But let's go ahead and just run this and see what it's going to be like. I'm not quite sure. We're just going to go ahead and run, again, the standard burst comp here and see what that's going to be like. And let's just go ahead and run all of that and see what this event's all about. It's very interesting, very not what I was expecting at all. So let's just see what it's like. I'm guessing this will have at least 4 waves, maybe 6, and starts off with 3. And then since we added the 3 additional waves, okay, we have 9 waves. Okay, so this is quite interesting. We are actually going to probably lose these 3 back characters because of the just cannon fire from every round. If we had someone like Connor in Winstrex's place, we actually probably would have done a better job here of surviving, because we are just going to die from the cannon fire, I think, by the time we get to the 9th wave. So let's just hope that that doesn't happen and get lucky, I guess, with the damage that we're taking. But 9 waves is a lot of damage to take, and Winstrex and Scar are definitely going down because we have a lot of waves to go. Zatlix and Nathalia will be no problem, or Nathalia will never die here because she's got the guard set on her. But that was interesting. Did you see that? We actually lost a lot of HP here. Interesting. I'm not sure what happened there. We got stuck on the same wave, and it looks like they called in reinforcements or something. But that was still the wave 3. It ended up being a 2-parter, I guess. Interesting. So there goes Winstrex. She's already down and out. If we ran into healer, it probably would have been no problem, but we didn't, and so we are having a little bit of a struggle here with our characters. So hopefully Nathalia could solo this last stage. So let's go ahead and check this out. Use the ultimate again. and see what kind of damage we're going to be dealing with. Cruising through these waves, not super difficult, but definitely not easy with all of these debuffs that we have on our characters, especially that cannon fire. If you don't have someone that's going to take care of that, it could be pretty dangerous. Let's hope we can go ahead and knock this one out. Looks like we didn't quite do enough damage to go ahead and kill off this unit, but we should be able to finish off the rest with Zatlix here. Not quite, actually. Not even close to enough damage, realistically, but that's going to be another cannon fire hit, and we are actually getting quite low here, and we didn't do enough damage again to this enemy. I probably should have been using the ultimate. I just figured we'd have enough damage. I didn't really do too much thinking in regards to that, but I guess we should just be ulting. Those, every 3 waves, it looks like there's a bonus, kind of 2 people that enter, and you cannot just one-shot the whole enemy squad because they're not even in the battle yet. And we got double deflect, triple deflected there. Really unfortunate, because if we had not gotten deflected, we would have been fine. And it looks like because we lost 2 characters, we ended up losing. So I'm going to go to rerun this, but use someone like Connor instead and see what the results are going to be like. So I went ahead and jumped to round 6 here, which is where we left off last time. And Connor is a huge game changer here. Obviously, Wind Strikes doesn't really provide anything in sustain for the squad. So I went ahead and dropped in the Connor, and he's got that shield that allows us to soak up some of that true damage. Now, this could change. I think the tankier comps are going to be very, very good for this event if you need to complete it. Because remember, this is only the first stage essentially of the debuffs that you can run. We could still run the 3000 true damage per the beginning of the round. That is still one of the debuffs that we could have on our squad, and that is a lot of damage. 1000 damage is already something that you kind of have to make sure that you know how to deal with, and 3000 is basically 3 waves, and we are dead. Pretty much our 3 rounds, we are dead on our Ciara and our Zatlix and things like that. So important to kind of make sure that we're managing this correctly in order for us to be successful in this event. Connor is going to be a perfect one to make sure we're running for the shield. For example, we're going to get to round 9 here. If we kill off, perfect. And we're going to have the shield up for when Evra goes ahead, and if she goes first. She did. Oh, she did not. She is just slower than Connor here. But we're going to go ahead and just heal up. She's going to go ahead and ult, and hopefully we don't lose anyone. Remember, we can only lose 1 character if we want to win this. So let's just go see how much damage she did. Wow, actually quite a bit of damage. We almost lost our Nathalia, and our Nathalia had a guard set on her. So a little crazy, actually, in regards to damage. So may want to run a little tankier of a comp, and we got deflected there, so we didn't do too much damage. But hopefully we can go ahead and just one-shot Evra here. Hopefully we don't get deflected. We got deflected again, so this actually might be a little difficult because we might lose our Nathalia here. Okay, they went for Zatlix. That's no big deal. We can go ahead and finish off this guy and then move on to this Evra here. Took quite a bit of damage on her, and then hopefully we're going to go ahead and put the shield up, and that's good enough to avoid another one of our characters dying. I don't know if it is. Ooh, that's looking a little risky. She has 2 attack up buffs. I think one of them's from the fixes, and the other one is from just her giving it to herself. But we're going to go ahead and ult here, and we did finish it, but make sure you're not necessarily running the water DPS on this one because of the Evra. It's going to just one-shot them. So we did win, but I think that we're definitely going to have to run something different for the later debuffs that we have to handle. But let's see what we actually unlock here when we go ahead and finish that off with all the debuffs. So we ended up unlocking more versions of all these debuffs that we can put on our characters. And it looks like once we do all that, we can go ahead and slap all of that on and just see what the debuffs are like then. Okay, only 1 fire hero, 1 elite unit. This looks like it's getting very difficult. And then we have the challenge bars over here. We can go ahead and claim all this good stuff. And if you go ahead and finish all these off, looks like you unlock some of the affixes for later on. And then there's the rank in order to go ahead and finish off the stuff. It looks pretty fun. You're going to go ahead and finish certain affixes, and then you're going to get points. So it looks kind of fun so far, and definitely a little bit more difficult than I thought it was going to be, but very, very doable. And hopefully that gives you some insight in how this kind of works and what you're going to be going for. Obviously, the tavern, there isn't really too much to go over here in what to purchase. All of it has limited stuff so far, and there isn't really anything that I'd prioritize over anything else generally, except for maybe the gear, these boots and chests and armor, all that good stuff is going to be very, very solid. I can go ahead and pick up like a boot here and just see what it's going to be like. It's going to be Assassin set or a few others. Let's go ahead and just see what kind of gear piece we're getting, if it's going to be a standard one. Going to go with Assassin boots. There's going to be the most viable set. It's a speed with attack, crit rate, focus. I don't know if this is going to be the same for everyone, but that's actually a very, very good boot, and probably something I'll be using, and definitely something worth locking for me. Let's see if we can go ahead and just pick up another one and see if it's going to be the same, just to see, or similar, just to see what it's going to be like if we do pick up a few of these. I'm going to go for the weapon next. I'm going to go for Assassin set as well, and just see if it's got either similar substats or something else that we could kind of expect. So I'm going to go pick up the Assassin dagger, and it's going to be attack, crit rate, speed. Wow, actually an excellent weapon. Very, very highly recommend that everyone pick up this weapon. And it looked to be almost exactly the same substats as the boot. I'm kind of curious, and I'm going to go ahead and pick up another one just to see if it's the same, and just to give you some insight on what kind of piece you might be getting yourself into. We're going to pick up the helmet because, oh, that's the armor chest. Oh well, I'm going to go ahead and get them all anyways. I actually skipped over the helmet chest. So let's go ahead and see what this one is. Hopefully it's going to be some crit rate, attack, speed. Looks like crit rate, attack, resistance. Another one that I'm willing to upgrade. And honestly, overall, very, very solid. So it looks like these have substats that we are preparing for, and it's going to be standard substats. So very, very good pieces overall. So definitely recommend that you pick up these pieces, and hopefully that gives you an idea on the event. If you have any questions or if you need help with the event, feel free to join the Discord and ask away. I'll be there and figuring out all this event with you all. So that'll be it for this video, and I'll see you for the next one.